Creating a site using Google Sites is quite simple. The first thing that you would have to do is get yourself a Google account. And as you recall, all of you were required to sign up for a Google account. A Gmail account is a Google account. So you've done that. Next, all you would have to do is access the internet. I prefer going in through Google Chrome, but you could also use Safari if you're using a Mac or Firefox if you're using a PC. I would not suggest using Internet Explorer because Internet Explorer has too many bugs and glitches and it just doesn't work well. So I'm going to access Google Chrome. If you have access to Firefox, Firefox is fine. Once you have opened your internet, you just sign in. If you're not using Google, you have to make sure that you're at least accessing Google. If you don't see Google, just go to google.com, or you can go ahead into your Gmail account and do it like that. You'll be able to access Google Sites from there as well. So I'm going to sign in with the class email. Now, using a computer that is not your own, you don't want to stay signed in, so make sure that this box is not checked. And sign in. And now you see my picture, so now you know that I am signed in. So, Google has lots of products that you will be able to use, and we'll explore some of them once you get here. But for now, I just want to get you started with your site. And I'm going to type in sites.google.com, and that will take me to my location where all of the sites that I've created are stored. So sites.google.com. And these are the sites that I have either created or others have shared with me. And the students' names that you see that are not mine are students in the class. So when you share your site with me, I will be able to see it in my environment and access your website through my my portal, which is here. Diane Thompson is one of the students in the class. She has created her site. It's very basic. That's all I want right now. And yours will look very similar to this. Now that we've created the basis of our site, we can add some pages. Home is always here, but we're going to add 4 additional pages. We go over on the right hand side to our plus sign to add pages. Thank you. And this takes us to our create a page in our site. Our first one is going to be convocation. You can have capitalize the C or keep it all lowercase. It doesn't matter because your web address is always going to be all lowercase. And you'll see the URL, the web address, right here. You're adding to it your site name or page name. We're going to, the type of page, a web page is just a blank page. We need to have more of a blog type page, so we're going to create an announcements page. Putting it at the top level is fine. And create. And then here is our new page. And notice the blog pages will, or the announcements pages will have new post, subscribe to post, etc. And it has that blog page feel. A web page with all of this would be blank, but we're not doing that right now. The web page would look like home. So we have convocation that we created. Now we're going to create 3 additional pages with the same process. And we're adding to our um, our menu or menu as we go along. Now notice this one is called Student Services. I did not put a space because the internet doesn't like spaces. It can't, rationalize what a space is. So you may have seen web addresses that had a %20 um, in between words. That's because the creator had a space there and the internet had to fill it with something. So %20 is what means space on the internet. I didn't put the space in. If I would have put a space, Google would put, oops, Google would put a dash to facilitate the filling of a space. So I just don't put anything, and that's perfectly fine. If you put a space, it's no problem. So we have assembly, convocation, student services, and we will fix that up as soon as we finish making all the pages. Now we're going to change the order of our pages. To do that, we come over to More and go down to Edit Site Layout. And then we have access to the sidebar, our header, etc. So we want to affect the navigation of the sidebar, so we just hover over the sidebar area, and then navigation will be visible, and we click on the navigation bar. And then we have the dialog box for configuring the navigation. We want this section to be called FYE 101, and we want the title to be displayed. We do not want Google to automatically organize the navigation. So we deselect that box. Now there's nothing here, so we have to add the pages that we want to see in our sidebar. So we come down and we click Add Page, and we select the page that we want. The first page will be Home, and we can just add them one at a time to the sidebar. Okay, we don't need a sitemap, so we can deselect that. Now, the order that I wanted is I would like Home first, then Academic Departments, then Student Services. I want after Academic Departments. So we would select Student Services and click the up arrow until Student Services is under Academic Departments. Then we have Freshman Assembly and Convocation. And we say OK. Now notice that everything has flipped, and then we can close this. OK. Now we want to make sure that all of our titles is in standard English format. So I'm going to edit my page by clicking the pencil and fix my stuff. Once it looks the way it should, I save it, and the sidebar will be updated. Go to my Student Services page, edit this by putting in my capital letters and spaces, and save. Now remember, all of our pages should be announcements, but I intentionally made academic departments a web page so that we can correct it. To correct it, we go to More, Page Settings, because I want to affect how the page looks. Page Settings, and down here at the bottom, currently using page template web page, I want to change it to announcements, change, and then it has changed automatically after I made that. Um, we want the assembly page to say freshman assembly. Convocation is fine. So now this is what your web page should look like. We're going to add one additional thing to the sidebar. So we go to More, Edit Site Layout, and this time we're going to add an additional sidebar section. So we want to click the plus sign on sidebar, and the type of sidebar item we're going to add is a countdown, and we click Add, and there's our countdown. We edit it. The event is I am a sophomore! Exclamation point. And choose the date. Now you all are just starting, so you will be a sophomore in December. Change it to December 2014. December 12th, 2014 is when you'll be a sophomore. Once you have it, say OK. And now that's what it says. 322 days until I am a sophomore. And then close it. And everything is the way that it should be. All right. Now you'll be able to follow the instructions for your Dr. King assignment from number 7 on, because you're going to create a new post and continue. If you have problems after this point, just email me and I will respond.